So, in this video, we're going to take a look at creating a HazelCast server, and we'll be using that to store unique IDs and names for testing purpose. And HazelCast is an in-memory database. So, if you take a look at the website, uh, we have HazelCast. It's an in-memory database, and it is used to store distributed data structures. And I have created a Docker cluster on my server. So you can see that we are running HazelCast, and it's just a normal Docker Compose file that I've created to start the server along with a management center. Now, if I go to the management cluster, sorry, management center, I can see the server running along with more information. Also, I can see information on my SQL database. Okay, so we have 3 live nodes and more information on that as well. Okay, so these are the databases that are available, and you can go to metrics for the SQL database, and this is being specified in the Docker Compose file that I had created for running the SQL, as well as I've also specified it for running the HazelCast server. I'll be putting up these files on the GitHub. And now what we need to do is load up, create a application that would, but before that, I would, yeah, I can create an application that would load up the name in the database, or let me, so right now we are putting that in the list of strings. Rather than that, I would like to have it run in the database. So for that, what I can do is I can add a HazelCast dependency in the parent POM. Let me do that. Once this is once this has been added, let me just compile the project. Okay, and add it in here. This is done. So let me see if it's being imported. And Yep. So what we're going to do is we create a configuration file, and add the HazelCast connection. So we got pin, client config, and this will be client config. Client config is equal to new client config, and client config dot set cluster is what cluster name, and this is what we can get from the, it's over here in the Docker Compose file of the HazelCast server, and this in client config dot get networking config dot add address, and this is the address of the server that we have started the server on, or the HazelCast server on. Okay, and return config. Then we need an instance of HazelCast that we will be using to create the maps and lists and whatever data structure we need. So we get beam to have like HazelCast, and return HazelCast instance dot new HazelCast. Oh wait, HazelCast client dot get new HazelCast client. That'll be client config. And we go to the service class, and say call it list of string. This will be lines equal to this, and we read it into the lines, and then we put it into the database, and then we put it into the names. So if if let me think. And so names will be equal to, oh wait, I need to auto wire the HazelCast instance. And then HazelCast instance dot get list will be user names. And if names dot is empty, then we do this. Names dot, oh wait, we add for string name and lines names dot add line, and I'm hoping that will load the names into the database. And next time when we start the application, we won't be needing this part. I'm hoping. Let me start the server. So I started it once, but it skipped the breakpoint. But now if I am loading, it means there will be 100 names that will be available, and it won't be empty, so it won't be going into this part. And let me just F8 and F9. Yep, that names are being loaded. And now the other thing is that we need the post IDs that IDs of the posts that are being put. So for that purpose, again, we will be using HazelCast. And if I have to put that into the server, so in this case, what we're going to do is first get all the IDs, post IDs from the server, and then put it into HazelCast. And for that, we're going to use post service, where all the IDs are available. And not the post service, sorry, post DAO. And over here, this post IDs is what we need to populate. So for that, I have to auto wire the HazelCast instance here. HazelCast instance dot get list post IDs. Wait a minute. Let me do this post service, user service. I should be putting this as underscore names. Again, if I debug this, you'll see the username being loaded again, and the same thing goes over here. But in this case, we need to get all post DAO. Okay. We need to create a at we need something that would give me IDs. So I would create a function and this list of that would give me the list of UUIDs. And at query, select ID P dot let me say ID from, and to specify the table I can just use this P. Okay, and this will be P dot ID. Now I can just go to my DAO and specify here if post IDs dot is empty, then a list of UUID is equal to a repository dot get all IDs and ID post IDs dot add IDs. Will that work? No. Add all. Okay. Let me test this as well. And also the user service for names. Get all the IDs. And okay, we got the 12 IDs in here. And let me just load them into the database. Add all IDs. 9. We got the names. That'll be 0 because we have changed the name of the key, and that will be in the HazelCast, and that will be empty, and that will load all the names. And okay, so the application has started. I just need to add some log info total names loaded. There'll be names dot size total IDs loaded. That'll be IDs dot size and oh wait, post IDs, and that'll be username. Okay, so this is done, and then we need to update whenever we need to add a, I guess even here it's required to load a user user ID. I suppose okay, get a random user ID next dot long user dot get user by ID, get user ID user DAO. This is bad. and get user ID. Get index. User IDs needs to be loaded, right? And again, we do the same thing in here. So we go to the user repository, copy the same code that we had in the post DAO or the post repository. Put it in here, and this will be you get all IDs, and get by user. This is what DAO, and that will be similar to what we had put in post DAO. And where is user service? Get user by names, and this will go into the user DAO. Okay, so what we need is user IDs. Not HazelCast instance. Oh, we need to autowire that here as well at autowired. Private HazelCast instance. And so we fetch the user IDs from the database from the HazelCast. And if in the HazelCast it does not exist, then load the IDs. If the user IDs are empty, that means you need to load it from the user repository.get all IDs and put it into the HazelCast instance. And this will be user IDs. And yeah, well, this should get the user ID required, and go to user service. Get add user, delete user, update user, get random user. You got random, you got this, got user ID, get a user ID, and it will get a user by ID. So I'm hoping this should do the trick. Go to debug and continue. HazelCast user IDs. Okay, so we got F, that is empty, and it will get all the IDs from the user repository. There are 4 users, and it will load it into the user IDs and F9. Cool. Continue. And this starts the server. So yeah, this works. So if I take a look at my HazelCast cluster, I have 3 instances that are running, and yeah, I don't know if this provides any information on the keys. Client filtering, compute, storage, maps, lists. Yeah, you can see over here there are like post IDs, usernames, so on and so forth. So yep. And that's it for this video. Thanks.